make this man welcome, because he's going to make you laugh, 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 laugh. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He's written to Jay Leno, and you may have seen him on A&E's Comedy on the Road. Give it up for the impartial views of Mr. Dylan Brody.
Fuck it, maybe I won't tell any jokes. Wait them out, they'll applaud. Before I start up tonight, I would like to apologize if anyone's offended by me smoking up here. I apologize for that. I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm just trying real hard to get off those damn patches. Well, I'm up to like a 2.5 patch a day habit now, folks. A stupid way to quit smoking that is you give your doctor $250, he gives you a month's supply of patches. At the end of the month, you run out of patches, you're still addicted to nicotine. And they won't stick back on no matter how much you lick them. You'll also forgive me if I'm a little tired and sluggish. It's been a very weird week for me. I flew out from LA on Tuesday, had an exhausting flight. I flew America West. They're running that new promotional package. You bring a spare part, you fly free. My wife drove me to the airport. She's premenstrual. Some of you familiar with this? This PMS deal, this syndrome that causes women for 4 or 5 days out of every month to behave exactly the way men do all the time? I sure applaud my pain. I come out of the apartment, get in the car right away. She wants to go 5, 6 quick rounds. If I make the rules, you can't win. Honey, I'm going to El Paso for a week. Lighten up. Oh, now it's cracks about my weight. I think that's true, that PMS makes women behave the way men do all the time. I think men are constantly overwhelmed by their emotions, their passions, their fears, their angers, their loves. This is why we're taught from a very early age, repress everything, don't feel. Don't feel anything, you won't function, don't feel. Women only experience this for 3 days a month. It takes them by surprise every damn time. Lord knows it takes us by surprise. Honey, could you pass the salt? You want the salt? Take the whole fucking table. I give, and I give, and I give. We know men are more romantic than women. Stick with me, I'll back it up. We know this because men invented the tradition of bringing flowers on a first date. How do we know that? Because if women had invented the tradition of wanting flowers on the first date, to this day you wouldn't have told us what it is that you want. We as a gender would still be guessing collectively, showing up on Saturday night. Hi, honey. Pig? Oh, wrong again. Oh, no, you're right, I'm a bastard. Stayed up very late last night. I'm very tired. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning going over that new Republican welfare reform proposal. As I understand it, the Republicans believe we can discourage people from being poor by taking away their money. That makes sense. Problem solving at its finest. Hey, let's stamp out graffiti by removing spelling from the curriculum. What do you say? Hey! Is it just me, or do you reach a certain point with these Republicans you just want to go, come on, do it to us again! Newt Gingrich announced that he's not going to run for president, which would be a great relief to me if I trusted him. Weird little scary man. Folks, if we have learned nothing, or anything from the past, is it not, do not trust the short charismatic guy? Isn't that Basically the rule, little weird man, Newt Gingrich. He's now said that the lawyers in the O.J. Simpson trial should all go out together and watch My Cousin Vinny. Okay. Newt Gingrich. I'm a writer. I put a lot of stock in words. The only anagram I could find for Newt Gingrich, twinge Grinch. Yeah. The most apropos political anagram since Spiro Agnew was rearranged to spell out grow a penis. Oh, fuck you. That's funnier than that. Do you ever want to just grab Bob Dole and say, hey, Bob, we know you're disabled. You can put down the pen. Don't get me wrong on this. I would never make fun of someone for being disabled. But I think if you are disabled, it shouldn't be a point of shame. And I don't think that the most powerful Republican in the country should be sending the signal that if you have a disability, you should hide it by disguising your unusable limbs as handy utensil caddies. You know, it's embarrassing, man, clutching that thing like a bad lounge act with a good microphone. For God's sake, okay, with Reagan it was different, you know? You want to hide that disability. You don't want the world knowing that, you know, the leader of the country has the retention span of a Cocker Spaniel, all right. You know, you can't go in front of the press corps and say, I'm sorry, we have time for no more questions. The president has wet himself. All right. Put him behind a big podium, hope no one notices, everything will be fine. But it's not like Bob Dole is going to lose an election based on an impaired ability to use chopsticks, folks. It's not like that. Have a little courage, admit you're disabled. You know, okay, maybe I'm way out of line. You know, and I will apologize to him personally if I ever find out that that pen was jammed in there by the same Nazi soldier who severed the nerve, all right? It turns out it was some horrible wartime writer's cramp accident. Fine, he's off the hook. Other than that, it's like Daniel Inouye shoving a sandwich up that empty sleeve and pretending he lost his arm on purpose so he'd have a way to carry his lunch. Jesus, when you guys go quiet, you really work together, don't you? That's pretty cool, man. I like that. Some comics get nervous. I like to see I got a nice discriminating room full of people. Room full of people who are willing to go, we didn't like that one. Try again, Jew boy. Should get that out of the way right now. I am Jewish. I am Jewish. People come up to me after the show all the time and they say, but your name is Dylan Brody. That's Irish. How can you be named Dylan Brody and be Jewish? I'll explain it to you. My parents named me Dylan after Dylan Thomas because they were hipsters back when the only word for it was communist. And Brody was actually the answer in Russian to a question in English that my grandfather didn't understand. So I wound up with the name Dylan Brody. Thank you for getting that, man. I wound up with the name Dylan Brody. Now people are always going, oh, how can you be Jewish and have an Irish name? How can you be Jewish and have an Irish name? Which is amusing as hell to me. Because you know, all his life, people were going up to Jesus going, how can you be Jewish and have a Mexican name? My parents tried really hard to raise me with some sense of like history and tradition, you know, but they're lax Jews themselves. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. You know. Every year they wanted to do Hanukkah, but they didn't quite know what day it started. They were burning extra candles, trying to make up lost time. They never actually learned the Hebrew prayers. Every night we're lighting them up going, abracadabra. We light the candles, we don't eat ham. You all right? Okay. I didn't mean to make you self-conscious. It's just hard for me to concentrate when there's actual phlegm hitting the table. You know what I'm saying? I am so impressed with the crowds here. I gotta tell you, man. This is such a hip town. I was scared to death of you people. My agent called me. He said, hey, Dylan, you want to go to El Paso, Texas? I said, hey, cynical Jewish New Yorker in El Paso. Good thinking, Raj. Yeah. This has been a lot of fun. First of all, I realized recently that Texas has become a way cooler state than California, where I now live. A few years ago, you guys had some economic problems. State went broke, and you all kind of said, okay, oil prices have dropped, we're screwed, fix the budget. Simple, you fessed up. In California, we're having a budget crisis. And the politicians are trying to blame it on school lunches and emergency health care for illegal aliens. We have a $7.5 billion deficit. If this is being caused by emergency health care and school lunches for illegal aliens, these are some accident-prone foreigners with some hungry fucking kids. Let me just show it to you on the big comedy graph, folks, all right? Over here, this is how much we spend on emergency health care and school lunches for illegal aliens, all right? Over here on the other side of the graph, here we have 5 years of drought, floods, fires, earthquakes, riots. We got mudslides. We got failed SNLs. We got base closures. We got the biannual celebrity court case. We got idiot county administrators gambling away billions on risky derivatives, you know? And then Pete Wilson comes out for re-election and says, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can solve this horrible deficit problem. We can all just band together as a community and blame them. Prop 187, the scariest piece of legislation we've ever put through. According to this thing, not only are we no longer inviting in the hungry, the tired, the poor, now it's not even legal to urine in huddled masses. Folks, might as well just tear down the Statue of Liberty, put up the statue of the big grumpy guy who represents no vacancy. Don't you think Jesus would be pissed off if he came back for Judgment Day and he wasn't allowed to get down to business till he showed 2 proper forms of ID? What is that about, man? He's all geared up to make his big entrance on Good Friday, you know. I know we all think Easter's a big deal, you know, coming back to life and everything. He knows his big miracle, finding an available table for 12 on Passover. So he's coming back, he's all geared up, he's all ready, facing off against the Border Patrol with his trumpet, scruffy little beard, Mexican name. I don't care whose son you are, you ain't getting in without papers. Oh no, I'll show you tribulation. I'll tell you, I was all excited. I thought I was going to be able to retire when we elected Clinton. I thought, now I can shut up, go right at my desk, you know. Let me put these Republicans in Congress. I thought it was such a gutsy choice electing Clinton, man. I mean, not necessarily the best guy to be president of the United States, but I think we definitely picked the lesser of 3 weasels here. I was so scared of your guy, Perot, the little weird guy. What a frightening little individual he was, man. Was it just me, or when you put him next to his running mate, Jim Stockdale, did they look exactly like those 2 guys he used to heckle from the balcony on The Muppet Show? We elected Clinton. It was amazing that we elected this guy. We knew he had cheated on his wife. We knew he'd tried grass. We watched him play saxophone with Arsenio's posse. And we as a nation said, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Cool, dude, lead us through the future. Couldn't have seen this coming. 6 years ago, you remember Gary Hart? Flat out decision with him. You cheated on your wife, you can't be president. Of course, no one tried to take away his Senate seat. Because we all know infidelity is no good at the executive level. But at the congressional level, that stuff swings. Apparently I got some big political perversion and conversion chart to turn to in Washington. I slept with a sheep, mayor of a small community. Yeah, he's good. Didn't happen to Bill, though, because Bill had what had to be the second best defense thus far in the 1990s. They said, Bill, you've been cheating on your wife. And Bill said, so what's your point? First we were shaken up by this, then we realized, hey, at least we're finally looking at a guy with a truly liberal domestic policy. Could you explain it to the rest of them, please? Because I'm pretty sure it's a good joke, frankly. I say he had the second best defense of the 1990s. I think first best defense thus far in the 1990s has to go to Willie Kennedy Smith. Man who went up in front of the judge and said, I didn't force her to do anything, Your Honor. I told her, if you don't want to sleep with me, that's fine. My uncle can drive you home. I think Hillary's pretty cool. I think Hillary Clinton is a damn cool woman. Really smart, really well educated, really well qualified. Press has no idea what to make of her. She could come out and say, people, I found a way to fund universal health care with money that already exists in the budget. The press is still going, excuse me, Mrs. Clinton? We were under the impression you'd be wearing a fuchsia dress to this conference? I love the sound of the headliner in the back going, ha, he's eating it. Thank you. But if I'm going to stop for a critique on each joke, we're going to be here for a really long time. You forgot it wasn't television, didn't you? You had no idea it wasn't television for a second there. You can't hear me. He's on every channel. He's not the president, is he? I love that when Clinton was talking about bringing gays into the military. I'd like to see gays in the military. You know, if my wife would give me a night off now and then. But I think the coolest part of this whole issue was watching the right wing sidestep, you know? Because they knew they couldn't admit it's about bigotry and homophobia. They knew they couldn't go on television and say, hey, we're not saying these guys can't fight. We're just saying when we think about what they do at home, it makes us go, They know they can't get away with that, so they make up these little excuses. Oh, it's going to hurt morale if we let gays in the military. No, it's not. Think about it, folks. You're in a foxhole under heavy fire. Don't you think the guy next to you is more likely to save your life if he's in love with you? See, I don't care what he thinks he's saving my butt for, just so long as it's getting saved. That's all I'm saying. It really is. Homophobia is really the last accepted form of bigotry in this country. I'll tell you when we really saw this coming out. Last month, did you catch this? Representative Dick Armey, on the floor of the House of Representatives, referred to wait for the punchline. Oh, we'll wait. That's great. When you laugh, you actually put your head in your lap. That's good. If I could do that, I would never leave my house. Representative Dick Armey, on the floor of the House of Representatives, referred to Representative Barney Frank, homosexual Representative Barney Frank, as Barney Fag. And then he said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And we accepted it. Now, first of all, I don't feel you should resort to that kind of name calling if your name is Dick. Secondly, I don't feel that you should resort to that kind of name calling if you are a representative on the floor of the House of Representatives. Maybe it's just me, folks. I don't like feeling like the country is being run by a bunch of fifth graders while the teacher is out of the room. It's not like you can get away with this with any other form of bigotry. It's not like Marcia Clark could come out in front of Judge Ito and say, Your Honor, what my esteemed colleague Johnny Nigger fails to... Did I say that? It just slipped out. Sorry, Johnny. No, not gonna wash. But you call Barney Frank Barney Fag in public, and people all over the country go, yeah, well, I could sort of see how that would slip out of anyone. I'm from New York. That's not the funny part. I went back to New York for 3 weeks last month to visit my folks. If I have any advice for you people, by the way, never go to New York and visit my folks for 3 weeks. I had this hope, this dream, this fantasy going. I thought maybe after 10 years in California supporting myself, maybe I could come home and be treated as a guest. No. Since 1985, they've been saving up garbage for me to take out. My mom's all excited when I get home because she's got a new psychic. Oh, Dylan, you have to meet my new psychic. She's so wise. You'll love her. I meet this woman. She looks at my palm, she looks at some cards, she says, Dylan, I see you waking up in the backseat of a red convertible, naked from the waist down, with a kangaroo and a woman in a reptile costume. I said, hey, I want to hear about the future. And my dad has these new subliminal self-help tapes he's been listening to. He says, Dylan, these are the best tapes in the world. I've never felt better in my life. You've got to buy the whole set. You must buy the whole set. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I went out, I got him. I've been listening to him while I go to sleep. And I got to tell you, I have never felt better in my life. These are the best tapes in the world. You got to buy the whole set. You must buy the whole set. Only two things to say about the O.J. Simpson trial, and then I'll ditch the topic entirely. First of all, I know where O.J. made his mistake. Guilty or innocent, I don't decide that, that's the court. But I'll tell you where he made his mistake. It was trying to escape in the white Bronco. You're O.J. Simpson? You go for the foot pursuit.
No, it hurts. No, it's Ava. You fucking dead. Are you fucking for that position now that it's open, for God's sake?
Second thing I have to say about the O.J. Simpson trial is this. Am I mistaken? What?
Real tape.
I'll take a glass. If anyone's interested, apparently they're passing out non-alcoholic beverages down here. Maybe I'm alone on this. You guys tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Is Christopher Darden the angriest young man in this country, or what? Okay, I understand, you know, you're a black man in a racist community having to prosecute a black man on national television. It's wrong. But he's got, like, this thinly veiled layer of anger. He's, like, that far from turning into a Tourette's patient every time he has to talk to Ian. Your Honor, when the defense... Fuck! Sorry. And don't let anyone kid you into thinking L.A. is not a racist city, folks. Former Police Chief Daryl Gates is on television again last week saying he objects to these charges of racist brutality in his department. According to Chief Gates, some of their best victims were white. Beat the crap out of Rodney King for speeding. And then they call it preventative justice. See, the way they figure it, Rodney's not going to be doing 110 miles an hour again. Not with that permanently blurred vision in his right eye. Maybe it's just me, folks. I think if you catch a guy doing 110 in a Hyundai, you don't beat him up. You make him a saint for performing a miracle. Jesse Helms wants to run for president now. Jesse thinks Ice-T can subvert your child's will or make him do murder with his song Cop Killer. Brought 2 Live Crew to the big news scene back, and he was saying all their music was obscene. I feel aesthetics are in the point of view, and we can't tell our artists what they can and can't do. Check it out. You may figure I'm a chump because I thought the lambada was a public hump. I mean, you'll hear the same words from Andrew Dice Clay. No one's out to ban what he's got to say. Rush Limbaugh offends my sensibilities. He's being rewarded on 1 million TVs. Could it be we've decided it's only a crime to spout trash if you're black and you spout it in rhyme? I'm not here to be a drag, bring anybody down, setting fire to the flag, but I'd rather see the banners blazing bright than watch someone poking holes in the Bill of Rights. So you're thinking I'm a comic and it shouldn't be my war? Well, if words can be illegal, what did Lenny Bruce die for? Censorship, folks, it's a fascist trap. It's enough to make a Jewish white boy rap. Chill. You guys are very, very cool. Wear a condom. Oh, I mean it. We need people like you alive, man. Wear that condom. Guys, you're planning an evening home alone, drinking beer, watching TV. Wear a condom. Be safe. Women, wear a condom. Find a way. Help us out. We can't carry this alone. It's too scary out there now, folks. It's not like this is just a gay crisis, just drug users. It's in the sober, straight, heterosexual population, too. You think about it. 20 years down the road, what are we going to have left? Lesbians and geeks who can't get dates. I have nothing against either group, per se, but frankly, don't invite me to this mixer. Half the world going, we're really not interested. The other half going, but we're nice guys once you get to know us. Hey, no, come talk. We'll live long and prosper. Wear that condom or the geeks will inherit the earth, folks. Because we got living proof now, people. Nobody's Johnson is magic. Like I gave it to him. Settle down. I had to buy condoms a couple of weeks ago. Well, because my wife had run out of sponges, really. Well, she hadn't actually run out, but the only one she had left had the Brillo on one side, and I didn't. So I had to go in and buy condoms, and I've been monogamously involved for 5 years now. It's been a while. I went in and I said, I'd like to buy some condoms. The guy said, it's all right, it's politically correct now. What size would you like? I don't know quite when this started. He could see that I was stunned, you know, because I didn't want to say, what have you gotten, a petite? He said, it's all right, relax. He gives me this board with these different sized hoses. Like I gotta gauge spaghetti for a party. Says, go in the back room, find out what size you are, come back, let me know. I came back 20 minutes later, I said, forget the condoms, how much you want for this board? That wasn't even at me, was it? It was just like a gerbil running up your skirt. She's got her own little thing going on over at that table. Frankly, I'm joining you after my set. You want to know what I was really hoping when we elected Clinton? I was hoping the war on drugs was finally over, because frankly, I could use those veterans' benefits. I don't want you to get me wrong on this. I'm not here to advocate addiction. That's not the point. That's not hip. I just personally object to this anti-educational, propaganda-based just say no thing they've been forcing down our throats for 13 years. First of all, folks, Just Say No was established by Nancy Reagan, a woman who is known to do between 4 and 14 tranquilizers a day. So it really should have been Just Say No. Secondly, it doesn't seem to be like a head-on approach to a drug problem. Trying to cure an addiction problem with Just Say No is like trying to cure clinical depression with just cheer the hell up. Not gonna fly. I myself have a much simpler motto that I've been sharing with the world on this my Is He Really Ready to Headline tour. You be the judge. My motto? Just say no your limits. It's a lot easier. You find yourself doing a lot of cocaine, thinking, hey, sleep is really just a cheap substitute. You cut back. You find yourself getting really stoned every afternoon, watching Disney's DuckTales. I think they shot this scene near my house. people to do cocaine. I do not advise that you do cocaine because cocaine will make you lie. Not through any chemical reaction, but because after 2 or 3 hours on cocaine, you've used up every topic of conversation on which you have factual information, and you're not ready to shut up yet.
Yeah, and then when they want the sap out of the trees, they climb up to the top and they install a spigot.
No, they don't. You gotta shut up. No, we're chipping in to buy you a muzzle. You gotta And don't do crack. Do not do crack, folks. 3 to 7 minutes of ecstasy, and it could kill you. You might as well get laid. Twice. I knew my limit. I had to quit drinking. Wasn't having blackouts or binges or anything. I just kept going home at 2 in the morning with that really full bladder. Oh yeah, me and him are the only ones. None of you have ever gotten so bloated your key will not fit into your lock. Get inside, your hallways become a funhouse. Get to the bathroom, listen to your abdominal muscles going, tile floor, really close enough for us. Not for me, folks. My personal drug of choice is marijuana, because I'm way too smart without it. Oh, I'm real serious. I stay sober 2, 3 weeks. I'm getting compulsive doing the New York Times crossword puzzle in pen every day. Gotta get it done. Got to get it done. I smoke a joint. I'm like a normal person again. Struggling over the junior jumble. For me, grass is a saner drug than alcohol. Just works out that way, you know? I get stoned. It's cold outside. I stay in. You put a couple of beers in me, it can be 250 degrees below zero out there. Pigeons plummeting from the sky, shattering on the sidewalk. I'm out there with my buddy in a t-shirt. Did you catch a buzz off of that? I don't feel a damn thing. I get stoned, I want a thrill. I go out for a walk. Maybe I scratch someone's dog. You get me drunk, I want a thrill, I'm gonna have to attempt the impossible. Let's go for a walk. Fuck it, we'll drive. Incidentally, if you have been drinking tonight at the show and you have to drive home afterwards, please, please, please stay way over to the left. Because us stoned people are over on the right. We want to have nothing to do with you, man. We don't pass judgment, you know. You want to do 65 miles an hour in the left 2.5 lanes, that's cool. But the shoulder is our turf and we're in no rush. I want to share an important quotation with you on topic. You will not have learned this in grade school, but I swear to you it is true. You can look it up in the Library of Congress. George Washington wrote in his private journal, May 17, 1773, "I prefer a pipe full of hemp to a glass of wine any day."
One stone woman. All right, folks, we're talking about George, the father,
The founder, the guy on our money. Talking about hemp, grass, weed, smoke, reefer, check it out. We're talking about George, the greatest American dreamer of all, George, going, row! This is great, we'll sneak across the river in the fog. You guys crouch down in the back of the boat. I gotta stand up here with the wind in my wig. It'll get to you. Hey, Hey, wait a minute, guys, wait a minute, guys. Does it feel to the rest of you guys like we've been on the water for days? George, getting desperate, late at night, scraping the resin out of those wooden teeth, smoking it, getting headaches. I want to talk to you after the show. The rest of you are a lot different than you're pretending to be. It's important shit, man. The founding fathers were hippies. That long hair was no accident. There's a reason the money is green. Do you get what I'm saying here? You want to have a blast when you get out of here tonight? Oh, well, fuck you then. I'll just do something else. Talk to me. I'm not furniture. Do you want to have a blast when you get out of here tonight? All right, here's what you do. Go to the nearest Denny's restaurant. Stick with me. Go to the nearest Denny's restaurant, you sit down. When the waitress comes over to your table, this is great, you just ask her, excuse me, ma'am, what's the difference between the big beef double cheeseburger and the hot fudge sundae? It's so good. She gets this bovine expression on her face. I'll ask a manager. I got a true Denny's restaurant story for you. This is kind of great, actually. I was in Austin about 5 months ago. 6 months ago. What month is it? Like we're going to go check. It doesn't fucking matter, really, does it? A few months, there we have it, an all-purpose word for it, don't we? A few months ago, I was doing Saturday night shows. 2 in the morning, I come out. Go into Denny's restaurant for a bite to eat. Manager's got home for the night. The waitress came over to my table, breastfeeding an infant. What a classy establishment. She comes over and says, can I get you all anything? I said, yeah. I'd like to see a children's menu. Gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to the hotel room. They're running that Parker Stevenson Film Festival on HBO. I really hate to miss any of that. Before I go, I just got one quick thing to say. It's kind of important. Please, 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 people, tip your wait-try tonight. Tip these women. Yes, I said wait-try. It's a Latin plural. Steward-I, matri. And incidentally, the singular, any one of you, is an audience. Tip these people. I used to wait tables for a living, and that is a hard damn job, especially, for a guy like me, because I have no tact at all. I was out there every night going, you want baked potato or stuffed potato with that, man? Because you don't look like the kind of lady who turns down starch. Butter and sour cream? Oh, call me Kreskin. Check this out. Hey, one woman come into my restaurant, she sat down in my section. She asked me for a catheter of white wine. I told her I wasn't qualified. She said, I don't like your attitude. I said, hey, I'm wearing a green apron and a bow tie. What kind of an attitude would you like me to have? Oh, this soup is tepid. Could you take it back and have it warmed for me? No. It's at the table, babe. Eat it or leave it for the busboy. No. Trust me. You don't want me taking that food away with me. Having some time alone with it. And bringing it back to you.
I was wrong. I'm not ending on that.
I say, oh, fuck you, you know. It's not like I plan it. It's not like I get up every morning and say, hey, I'm from New York, better go piss some people off today. It's not like that, you know? It comes from growing up in the middle of Hell's Kitchen, 46th Street, 10th Avenue. Walking home from school every day past 6'3" black guys in white fishnet stockings. Them, not me. Leaning over my little schoolboy frame going, what you want? I got what you need. Check it out. What you need. I got what you want. Finally, I grabbed one of these. What do I want? What do I need? I need a relationship with someone who can hold me when I'm frightened, make me feel safe late at night. He said, blowjob, $12. Sometimes you gotta settle. Folks, you guys have been great. Enjoy the rest of the show.